Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
Your birthday weekend falls in line with Miami Film Festival, where I live.
Yes.
I don't live in a film festival, but I live in Miami area. And I wanted to surprise you so like that with like we did with dad kind of situation where you and dad came down and I surprised him and you with Loki, the Tom Hiddleston
Yes.
when he came in to speak us like that. You guys didn't know what was going on. I just wanted like, here's my little special gift. And I did the same thing with Kimberly.
Uh,
And with that, it was with the movie where I'm about to try to sell you on, but I think it's an easy sell because you love Bob Odenkirk and you love the Nobody films.
I haven't seen the second Nobody, to be fair. Yes, I know.
I thought you did.
No. I do like Bob Odenkirk. Funny enough, never saw Better Call Sal or
Mhm. Breaking Bad.
that's the one. But I have seen him in other stuff, and
Right,
to me, he was always a comedic performance, and that's what he
right.
did. Blew me away in Nobody, and like he's actually a really good actor.
He's an excellent actor. And yes, he started in comedy. That was his thing. And then he transitioned into dramatic roles like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And now he's become a bona fide action star.
Yeah.
And it's quite crazy. This is how old he is. He's not a young spring chicken, but he's older. But I'll tell you after our intro why he's doing well as an action star so late in life.
Okay.
As of now, Normal, which by the time this movie review comes out, will probably out or just shy of it, hopefully. It is only scored by the critics at 84%. No audience score yet because it's not officially out yet. But I and a huge group of people during Miami Film Festival got a chance to see it and then a little Q&A section afterwards, just like Tom Hiddleston we saw his Q&A session right there with, the interview. But anyway, let's get it going. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel,
I'm a Don.
where we give a review at least once a week. Hopefully, no spoiler alert. I'm going to try my best. Now, the Miami Film Festival premiere was on Saturday, April 11th at the Olympia Theater, which was a beautiful theater in downtown Miami.
Was that the same one we went to?
No, we went to the Art Center.
Gotcha.
We didn't see any film project. Tom Hiddleston just got an award and we
Correct.
talked to him, right? Bob Odenkirk, what he did here, we saw the movie first and then he was presented an award and then he came out and, talked to us and what have you. And then he later on was going to Coconut Grove to show the film again to that audience. So we saw it kind of first in that aspect. The theater by itself, my God, I'll probably put a post here on from the film I did. I think I sent it to you. I'm not sure. I definitely sent it to mom, but
You
it's a
said
beautiful theater.
you
Theater
only
itself,
sent me when they brought him out on stage.
right? Okay, but the theater itself is gorgeous. You can feel the history.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Normal, which I find it kind of funny because that's his third action film back to back in. Think about it, Nobody 2, and then Normal that start with the number, not the number, but the word no, N-O. Nobody,
Mm-hmm.
Normal. I just find that funny. I
Oh.
just find that funny. But Normal, you is a play on words, but also is a name of a town.
Okay. Because I
All
thought it
right.
was like normal. I'm like Nobody. That's pretty much the same category. It's like is it an innocuous? Someone that's just blends in with everybody else.
And he kind of does in that way in this film. He's a guy, real quick, that he is a sheriff for rent, if you will. Well, he calls himself a substitute,
Okay.
right? So something happened to that town where the sheriff died. He died. He had a,
Oh, so he's like interim sheriff. He's just there
correct,
until the next
right,
one comes in. Yeah, gotcha.
correct. So he's just filling in a space, right? He's not from the town. He just goes like he. There's like they do that like nurses for hire, right? or there's a word for it, or doctors, not doctors for hire, but it's like there's a thing where nurses and doctors they get hired to do a sabbatical, to do a temporary job, be it like a couple of days
Yeah,
or
like
maybe
they're
a
under
few months.
contract or something.
Right. And that's what he kind of does. He travels to fill in any spaces that needs to be filled temporarily wise. But he was a former sheriff. But what it is, like there's a dramatic episode that he's dealing with from that. And so while he's dealing with that mentally, physically, emotionally, he's there doing it. And what he's trying to do is just keep everything
You trying
positive,
not to say the word normal?
possibly. But it, what I'm saying is like he tries to like he sees his job like let's just keep everything, here you go, normal, that not to cause any ripples, any waves, what have you, just do his best to keep everything smooth until they vote for a new sheriff.
Yeah.
And then chaos happens, ensues.
Okay.
Unlike Nobody, where like he felt like he was missing something. He was,
Yeah.
being mundane, just doing everything the same over and over again, blah, 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 kind of getting bored, blah, blah, working for, I believe it was his wife's family's business, blah, blah, blah.
And his
He was just,
father-in-law with his
right,
brother-in-law.
correct. But here is just something else. But there is some similarities. But what's awesome in this film too, where it was like, this is part of the Miami Film Festival, because just like how Nobody and Nobody 2, in the sense of violence, he actually goes even more. And then it kind of honors like other genres that we're familiar with. He talked about it. He presented as like, it's like the John Wick, it's like the Nobodies, but it's also like
Mhm.
kind of like Final Destination. When you watch the movie, you'll see that similarity.
Okay, because to be fair, I did see the trailer. Granted, it was way before you even mentioned it to me.
Uh-huh.
And I remember watching the trailer go, oh, it's Nobody Meets Fargo.
Yes, that's another one. Yes, there's another influence. Fargo was another influence that he mentioned.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
Yes. And but when I said it before in the cold open, where in the sense of like how he's able to do these action scenes that he's doing at such a later life, he says, I never did anything before athletically. Even though I'm older, my body is fresh. He says like he didn't put the wear and tear into it. Like he said, like he compared to his brother, whose brother is like a year younger or
Hmm.
something like that. They're relatively the same age, well, a little younger, but he played soccer growing up,
Yeah.
competed and all that stuff. So he has bad knees, bad, back pain, all this stuff, because he was doing all that stuff. Him, and as he's just giving that explanation, he starts gets more comfortable in the chair, puts his legs up, and just kind of like shows off in the way that he can do it. Granted, he said he had to train hard for these things to be so active for these action scenes, but yeah. And then said, I was like, that makes total sense because from me training and doing all these competitions, how busted up I got.
Where's all
I
that?
had to get, yeah, my lower back, I had a hip replacement surgery recently, or somewhat recently, and then sometimes my knee is gone. I believe my ACL is gone. I never got it checked out because I do have pain when I run, but I get that. But to go back to this movie, in a sense, you have some co-stars like I'm not sure if you saw in the trailer, but Henry Winkler's in it.
Yes, I did see that in the trailer.
Okay, good. And Lannister, the female from Game of Thrones, who's also in Judge Dredd.
Lena Headey. She
Right.
was
And
like
she also
she
played,
was in Sarah Connor Chronicles.
yes, she played Sarah Connor, correct. So she's in it too. Okay. And what happens here, in a sense, is pretty much, like I said, it honors a lot of genres, but it's also like, of course, it's action, because it's the same people who brought John Wick and Nobody, those guys, that team. But it's also like a murder mystery. In my opinion, this movie is better than the Nobody films.
Is
So
it because of the action or a combination of the action and the story?
combination of the action and the story and what's happening, what's going on, stuff like that. Like Nobody had like a parallel to John Wick.
Gotcha.
Like he was going against the Russians and stuff like that, blah blah blah. Coming, forced out of retirement, blah blah blah. Right here, there's no forced out of retirement. He's doing his job, but he has to find a way to step up.
Hmm.
Right. Also, kind of reminds me of loosely of Kill Bill, because again, I'm not sure if this is in the trailer, but the Yakuza is involved.
Okay.
Did I go in the trailer? Did you recognize in the trailer or no?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I'm assuming it's some kind of gang. It
right,
looked like a group of people. So
right. Well, it's the Yakuza, and they're about, and it's like, how does that make sense? You'll find out in the movie, and it makes sense. It's like, oh, cool. But the actions are really good. There is tons of humor.
okay.
It's not overpushed. He plays this, even though he's a comedic actor, and that's how he got his business in. Just like in Nobody, he plays the straight man, where everyone else is pretty much
Like this
doing the
outlandish
comedic.
characters. Okay.
Yes, but they're not really outlandish, but in the sense of reactions and some things that happen, like you have to laugh.
Gotcha.
And there's times where you go like, "Oh my god!" Like holy crap. In a way, like I know probably people who are listening to it is like, you're not really selling this movie that well. But what I'm doing, what I'm saying is like, I was surprised how well this was done. This is part of his story. Like he said, like he wrote the first half, the setup,
Okay.
the right, the story building. That was his thing.
Yeah, I do see. Just for like, so I had some knowledge. Like, I saw he was a writer. He was a
Right, because
co-writer.
he wrote it, but a story based from his writing, and he said that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to set everything up, and then when the time for action, stuff like that, he let it for the other writers, the director, the stuntmen, the action people, all that stuff. That he just gave it to them. It's like almost like he passed the baton.
Yeah,
Is this like Christmas themed movie? Could it be? I don't know because I didn't see any Christmas decoration or anything like that
I
because
think the
it's in the
town's just
winter.
cold.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was cold. The whole
Yeah,
time is cold, and some scenes were predictable. Like you kind of knew what was going to happen, but at the same token, it was like for me, it was like, how is it going to happen?
okay.
You know what I'm saying? How is it going to play out? Even though I knew something was awry or not awry, but I knew something was coming up, and he's like, you know, this person or that person, what have you. But it was good. It was good. I mean, I think you will quite enjoyed. Does mom like the Nobody films or dad?
I'm assuming Dad has seen it because it's
Hmm.
been on our streaming services that he has. Mom, I don't think she's seen them.
Oh my god, I think she'll like it. I
I
think she'll
she
like those
she
films.
probably would. She does love John Wick.
She'll like those. But and this
Yeah.
one is like it's not in the essence of John Wick. It's not in the essence of Nobody in the aspect in the sense of the type of action. What was Nobody's character's name again? I want to say Hutch. Hutch. So like Hutch was strategic in multiple ways due to his father's upbringing. Here, this character was somewhat strategic, but more like, let's try this.
Hmm.
What's going to hurt? We're already in a shit. We're going to die already. So why not try this aspect?
Granted, I haven't seen it, but to me,
Yeah.
like, if I had to assume, which I'm going to, I always thought that comedic writers or comedic actors can transition to drama and action very well
Hmm. Hmm.
because to set up a scene, it's like setting up a good joke.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you need to have the build up, the work, the punchline, and then the climax of it. I guess that's the punchline. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. Well, he talked about that too. He talked about that in the sense of how it is easy a lot of times for comedic actors to go into the serious roles, and
Yeah.
the dramatic roles. So he did say that, and it's kind of like the same approach. Like, how do you look at it? And how can you present it? How can you make it funny? How can you make it serious? How can you make it impact? So he did talk about on the Q&A. And you see it here, and it says like how he brings it in. But again, it's just like when we see some action films, and you're like, oh, like the stunt or the action is like over the top, but somewhat realistic. How does these people survive? Is done in a clever way. It is believable. To me, there's nothing over the top. You
Gotcha.
know what I'm saying?
Like
It's like
nobody had some over the top moments.
correct. Yeah, it has some over the. You remember like the guy? Yes, when the guy, what was it? The main Russian hit the wall and it was still like intact, like not instead of because he got it because within the mine, the landmine,
You
whatever.
talk about the final fight scene.
Yeah,
Big spoilers for
right.
people. The final fight scene in Nobody, how he gets the final big
Death.
boss.
Yeah, how he takes him out, and it was like it's not like
That should
that
have killed him
here.
too.
Right. No, exactly. This is definitely worth the watch, in my opinion, and definitely watching the movie theater. If you want to wait for streaming, sure. But the great things about movie theaters experience, besides the annoying things that we talk about in the sense of people talking, phones on, blah blah blah, when everyone gets the joke or gets shocked by the action,
Yeah.
everyone feels it and they're very audible about it, they voice it. And that's great. Like there was one couple in front of us, I think they were getting annoyed by me because I was enjoying myself.
Yeah, you're definitely like, oh,
Yes, I'm not commentary. I'll say something. Even Kim sometimes she'll say something like that's kind of shocking. That will shocks her. But yeah, this is like I mean, there's multiple stories going on. You have these characters going through their own thing. Of course, Bob Odenkirk's character is the main one, and he's going through his thing. And of course, he's able to what he was trying to avoid. He's able to accept.
hmm
And it's a nice growth, and he does grow from that. Even though he is there temporarily, that experience for him, his character, he's able to sleep, able to have a better outlook of his future.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah, if that makes sense. When it comes out, and it's supposed to come out April 17th,
Okay.
I will definitely go see it. If you could take mom or dad, take them because they're. I know, well, dad's a little funny, but
Dad
mom, I
won't,
know.
but mom would.
Yes. And again, it has no relation to the Nobody films. So it's not like you have to watch those films. It's just all you have to know is that it's the same people who made Nobody made this.
Yeah.
Or what's also good about this also is this more of like an independent project. It wasn't like Warner Brothers or Disney or all those or Paramount, none of those big film companies. Magnolia is more of a smaller company that they help, be the distributors of this film. It was like his pet project. And when people do have their pet projects, it comes out really, really good.
Typically, usually.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, Bruce Lee's The Way of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That was his pet project. And that's a fantastic film, because he wrote, directed, starred, choreographed, blah, blah, blah. And that's an amazing film with him and Chuck Norris, especially at the end. Uh, So that's what's great about this. Is like it was Bob Odenkirk's baby in a way that he shared with other people to help bring it to life.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah. And again, if you like Bob Odenkirk with the stuff he's done, you're gonna love this film because he's amazing. He's amazing in this film. He was fun at the Q&A. He was really fun. He was funny. He was very informative. He was not a dick.
Just out of curiosity, in regards to the Q&A portion, was
Mhm.
that more like I remember with Tom Hiddleston, the questions was not from the audience. They didn't really give the time to.
Yeah, they didn't do that either here. But the
Gotcha.
Q&A was like, yeah, it was just like a conversation with him and the interviewee. And she asked some questions here and there in a sense, like what's coming up, because he has another project coming up. And I think it's with him and his close friend, David Cross.
Yeah, the Mr. Show with Bob and
Yeah,
David.
right. So they're coming out with a new one, I think with, what is it? Jesus Sells Diabetes, something like that. Something like
The Making of Jesus Diabetes.
Right. That's a comedy, which I was hoping because I was like, because if it was audience questions, I was going to ask him since he is now a bona fide action star, even though he's late age, he's a bona fide action star. He's heralded as a great dramatic actor.
Mm-hmm.
Is he coming back to comedy, like strict comedy? Because he's done, like, again, Nobody and Normal has comedic moments, but done through situational humor. So
Yeah.
it's like not like forced comedy. And so, yeah, I mean, so that I'm looking forward to seeing that, to see if how he comes back. But that's supposed to be a comedy. Are you going to see it?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
So you can let me know how you think, either via text or we can do a quick recap or revisit. And when we do another review, we can talk about it and see how you felt about it. Because again, we still have plenty of films that we reviewed in 2025 that I'm still editing
Fair enough.
to
Yes.
get out there. So we have Jaws, The Last Dragon, Wakanda. What's the one? Not Wakanda Forever, but the
Eyes of Wakanda.
Eyes of Wakanda.
Don't know why I
We
said
have-
that with that accent.
I don't know either. And there's another one that we've reviewed in 2025 that I still have to. Oh, the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
But anyway, I highly recommend. I feel this is the best of Bob Odenkirk's work action-wise. It's definitely rewatchable.
Okay.
It is definitely rewatchable.
Well, based on what you're describing, it sounds like it's worth going to the theaters.
Oh, yeah. Definitely go to the theaters. Yes. All right, guys. That is our review, non-spoiler that is, of Normal, coming out April 17th. After you watch it, let us know what you think. And what do you think about Nobody films? Which one do you like more, the first one or the second one? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adon.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
And happy birthday.
Yay.
Bogey.
Thank you. I'm old.
Yeah, but I'm older.